Namaste and welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Chua, and for our practice you'll want to have a couple of blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket. We're going to continue this week's exploration of the second main chakra or energy center. Though we know there are more than 7, we've been highlighting each of the 7 in the past few weeks. And now we're focusing on the sacral energy center, known in Sanskrit as Svadhisthana Chakra. Translated in different ways, and one way is the seat or the dwelling place of the self. As I mentioned in our last class, qualities, attributes of energy, here it governs our sexuality, sensuality, creative flow, and ability to be flexible and adapt to change, as well as our sense of play, how we allow for joy in our daily lives, leaning at times towards pleasure and seeing what might be called glimmers. We talked about that in our Yosemite retreat. We just got back from. Glimmers are the opposite of emotional triggers. They are what sparks joy and a sense of pleasure in the little things. Could be big. What else? So the element of the earth associated with your sacral energy center, which is located above the bottom of your spine, below your belly button, lower belly, lower back, where the sacrum is. The element is water. You think of the reproductive organs, digestion, a lot of that happening down here. Water is a huge element. Oh, and I almost forgot, very important. This also relates to how you relate and process your emotions. Emotions, very much the element of water. And so with that, in today's practice, especially in the flow, but also in the more still yin portion, I invite you to infuse ways that you can embody or invite the qualities of both water, flow, fluidity, and play, the attitude of play. Let's take a moment to check in with what we bring into the practice. You might close your eyes, beginning to mentally scan your physical body, noticing what sensation calls your attention first. As in the attitude of play, invite curiosity rather than judgment, an openness to observe and discover the life that's happening in your body right now. From one area to another, continue to scan your awareness. Also feeling the way that breath is flowing into and out of your body. No need to change how you're breathing or control it. Sense if the breath feels fluid, how shallow or deep, anything you can feel about it. Letting the breath inform you of your overall energy. How might you harmonize with what you're feeling right now? Notice the state of your mind. What have you been giving your attention today? How are you feeling mentally and emotionally? And what will your practice look like as you hold loving space for all that's present for you? Feel the physical surface below the body as you press into that. Allow a deeper breath in. And feel free to vocalize the exhale as you open the mouth. Even deeper breath in. Any sound, drawing it out through the mouth. Continue a few more deeper and deeper breaths exhaling through the mouth. As I invite you to recognize anything in this moment that you feel gratitude for. Letting gratitude spark a sense of perhaps joy in your heart mind. As you define your intention or personal prayer for today's practice, consider if there's an area in your life right now in which you'd like to invite more sense of flow, adaptability, flexibility, creativity, sensuality, pleasure, joy, play. Invite you to plant the seed of your intention for your practice. Just remember, our practice is not only to benefit us who are here now, but those around us. I invite you to choose somebody besides yourself that you might like to dedicate today's practice to. As we open the practice, you might visualize the color orange vibrating at your sacral energy center while we chant the bija mantra or seed sound for awakening energy flow in Sacral Chakra. And that sound is Vam, Vam. Let's chant it 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Vam. 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 As you continue to lengthen the breath, I invite you to balance it both in and out, beginning to practice a breathing technique that helps us to balance our overall energy while inviting calm and focus. And it's called Ujjayi Pranayama. It means victorious breathing. It's done by closing your lips, softly constricting the back of your throat so that you create a very gentle, smooth, whispering sound to the breath. Sort of like the sound of peaceful ocean waves, reminding us to embody flow, the element of water. As you listen to that sound now, establish a slow and steady rhythm that you can hear throughout our physical postures and movements. Taking your time to slow your body down or to be still and rest anytime you lose sight of that slow, steady rhythm in the breath. And with that, let's make our way into downward facing dog. All fours, start from there, spread the fingers flat, lift the hips high and draw them back. And invite you to dance your downward facing dog, moving your body any way it invites you to loosen up. And let the breath guide the pacing. Are there any areas that feel stiff or tense where you could add some movement, shake, breath? On your next inhalation, sweep your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend your right knee and turn out your right thigh at the hip. Staying there, inhale, draw your left outer hip back. Exhale as you quietly step your right foot forward beside your right thumb, lowering your left knee and tucking your left toes in a kneeling lunge. Now, you may find it helpful to place your fingertips on blocks to adjust the height of your hands in order to relax your shoulders and breathe well. Let's start a flow here. As you breathe in, invite your pelvis to sink towards the earth while your heart rises towards the sky. As you breathe out, keep your feet where they are, lifting the left knee, begin to straighten your legs to whatever's comfortable by drawing the right outer hip back and bowing as if you have a flat back, pyramid pose. Inhale, lower the left knee, gazing up again, kneeling lunge. Exhale, lift the left knee, straightening the legs and bow, pyramid pose. Let's keep going. 3 more breaths. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now come into a high lunge. Walk your right foot to the left until it's about the midline of your mat. Spin the left heel down. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot and press to your feet as you inhale to windmill your arms apart. Warrior 2. Let's flow here. Inhale, press down with your feet, straighten your legs and raise your arms. Invite space throughout the spine. Exhale, rebend the right knee. Back to Warrior 2. 4 more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. And exhale, bend. Let's pause just a couple of breaths. Relax the shoulders, steady your gaze. Hear the sound of your breath. Keep the right knee bent and flip the right palm to face up. Inhale, side bend towards your rear wall in peaceful warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the floor and come onto all fours, hands and knees. Let's start with a few rounds of cat-cow. Breathing in, glide your chest forward, roll the shoulders down behind you and gaze up. Breathing out, contract your abdomen, drop your head to round your back. Keep going for several more cycles of breath. And feel free to explore with the attitude of play any other direction your body may want you to move to help lubricate the joints in different areas. Or just to play with spontaneity and self-trust. After about 5 more cycles of breath, let's meet back in downward facing dog. Arriving in Adho Mukha Svanasana, inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and rotate the left thigh bone externally at the hip. Staying here, inhale, draw your right hip back. Exhale, step your left foot quietly beside your left thumb and lower your right knee, tuck the right toes. Again, notice if it's helpful to prop your fingertips on blocks where they're right underneath your shoulders. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Sink the pelvis, look up. Exhale, pyramid pose. Lift the back knee, draw the left hip back towards straight legs. Bow as if you have a flat back. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. 3 more cycles. Inhale. Feeling the element of water as you flow. Exhale to the ocean wave breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's come into a high lunge, keeping the right knee lifted. Scoot your left foot to the right. Spin the right heel down. Align left heel to arch of right foot. Press down through your feet as you inhale, windmill the arms apart into Warrior Two. Inhale, straighten your legs, raise your arms, invite length through the crown of your head. Exhale, rebend the left knee and open your arms back to Warrior Two. 4 more cycles of breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slow and steady. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now let's pause in Warrior Two. Just a couple of breaths. Listen to your breathing. Keep your left knee bent. Flip the left palm to face up. Inhale, side bend towards your rear wall in Peaceful Warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands to the floor, stepping into your version of plank, top of a push-up. With legs straight or knees on the ground, decide to lower knees, chest, chin, or glide forward through Chaturanga Dandasana into your vinyasa. Inhale into Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale into Downward Facing Dog. Pause. Listen to 2 cycles of breath. And then step or lightly jump your feet about mat width apart. And scoot your toes forward another 5 to 6 inches towards your hands. Let's come into a twist in Downward Dog. Pick up your right hand. Now, if it's helpful for more access, you can prop the left hand on a block. Cross your right hand to catch hold of your outer left calf or ankle. Press your right heel deeper into the earth so as to keep your 2 hips leveled, and look under your left armpit towards the sky. Now relax your neck, relax your jaw, lifting the shoulders away from the neck. Just a few more deep breaths, turning the rib cage, spinal twist. On the exhale, release the right hand forward on the ground or on a block and switch sides. Cross the left hand to catch your outer right calf or ankle. Press your left heel down towards the ground. Keep your hips leveled and look under your right armpit towards the sky. Then let your head hang loose. Let your jaw soften and unwind. Feel the flow of your breath, gently turning your rib cage. Inviting fluidity and ease throughout your spine. 1 more deep breath. Now walk your hands towards your feet, and from both hips, turn out both thighs and bend your knees into your version of a squat. Here are some options. You can grab some blocks and pillows and sit on them like a stool. If it's your Achilles tendon that's tight, making this uncomfortable for you, you could fold a mat and step your heels onto the edge of the, not a mat, a blanket, and step your heels on top of the blanket like this. So find a version of a squat that is comfortable for you. And from here, you could either choose to join your hands in prayer, letting the elbows help splay your inner thighs apart while you lift your heart, or add another spinal twist in which you could cross one arm in front of the thigh, raise the opposite arm, and lift your heart towards the sky, letting the shoulders melt down the back. You could also wrap that top arm behind you into a half or full bind. Allow a few breaths in one side of the twist if you're practicing it. And a few breaths on the other side of the twist. Coming back through center. Plant your fingertips on blocks or the floor in front of you and parallel your feet as you arrive in a standing forward fold. Press with your hands. Inhale, lift your chest forward, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet close together to touch. Inhale, bend your knees into chair pose. We're going to come into a flowing chair. So hug your midline firmly with the legs. Keep the pelvis still. Breathe in here. Draw the hips back lower than the heart. Lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, extend your right arm forward. I'm mirroring you. Back stroke the left arm back and rotate your chest to your left side into a twist. Inhale, stay in the chair. Raise both arms up. Exhale, extend the left arm forward, back stroke the right arm back, and turn your chest to the right. Inhale, chair pose, arms up. Press down with your feet, and exhale, rise up, mountain pose. Shifting your weight onto your left foot. Turn out your right thigh at the hip socket. And let's come into tree or figure four chair, where there's an option to arm balance and flying single pigeon. Tree, hug the inside of your left ankle, calf, or thigh with the sole of your right foot, and maybe add some branches. Figure four chair, flex the right foot and cross the ankle above your left knee onto the thigh, and bend the left knee back, maybe sitting lower, arms up or onto the ground, maybe an arm balance. Notice the quality of your breath where you are. Slowly, let's meet in mountain pose. Maybe the eyes are closed as you tune in. What's there to notice? What's arising for you as you explore throughout this practice? All right, I invite you to see if the same version of the pose is available for you on your second side. Turn out your left thigh at the hip, either preparing for tree pose, hugging the inside of the right leg below or above the knee with the sole of the left foot, or prepare for figure four chair where you flex the left foot and cross the ankle above the right knee, bend the right knee, draw the hips back and down, maybe raise the arms, maybe plant the hands, maybe an arm balance, flying single pigeon. Taking your time to eventually meet back in mountain pose. We'll end our yang or more active vinyasa part of our practice with 3 Ardha Surya Namaskars, half sun salutations. And remember, this is a form of gratitude through movement, offering gratitude to beautiful source of energy for all of life here on our planet, the sun. So bringing that sense of reverence as you flow like water to your breath. Sense the energy of your intention of this practice. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and overhead, saluting the sun. Lift your heart up. Exhale, bow forward over your legs, bowing into the earth. Press the ground, blocks or shins. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, bow in again. Root down through your feet. Inhale, rise towards the sky, lifting the heart. Exhale, join your palms in prayer. Maybe close the eyes. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, bow in. Rooting down, inhale, rise. Exhale, recenter at the heart. Now I'm just cueing the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, please make your way down to sit at the center of your mat. Have a strap nearby. Let's begin with a seated spinal twist. Stepping your right foot on the ground in front of your right hip, straighten the left leg and flex your left foot. Curl the toes back. Place the right hand on the ground behind your pelvis, and with your left hand, catch hold of your outer right foot and flex the right foot. We're going to kick the foot forward towards straightening the leg as you lift the spine taller. Another option to holding that right foot with your hand is to hold it with a strap so that your shoulders can relax. So choose what works best for you. Kicking the foot away, press your two sitting bones down and lengthen through the crown of your head, dropping the shoulders, open the heart space. Breathe in. Keep your pelvis and legs still, and as you exhale, incrementally twist. Turn your ribcage to the right, breath by breath. You could opt to raise your right hand towards your back wall and look towards it. Here for maybe 4 more deep breaths. Now, as you exhale, bend your right knee and hug your right thigh on top of your left thigh, bringing the thighs as close together as you can for half cow face pose. Those of you that sometimes get sciatic nerve pinched and you need to relieve that pain, this is a great posture for that. You may want to use a strap as an extension of your arms, placing it around the ball of your left foot. Otherwise, frame your legs with fingertips on the ground. So as you flex your left foot, also kick it forward, pressing it towards a strap or a pretend strap. Press downward through your sitting bones. From the bottom of your spine, breathe in and lift up through the top of your head. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep your throat open, and just a little each breath, hinge forward from your hips. Keeping your chest slightly lifted, press the pelvis down as you inhale. Stretch your spine from it a little longer. And maybe fold a little deeper as you exhale. Now only fold to the degree in which you can still have spaciousness throughout your neck and shoulders, not adding tension there. You can reach hold of your left foot with both hands, you can hold that instead. We're here for maybe 7 or so more deep breaths in Ardha Gomukhasana, half cow face pose. Pressing down through your sitting bones, lead with your chest to inhale, slowly rise up. Stretch both legs in front and either sit still for a few breaths or notice if your body wants to move gently, like circling out the feet, neck, shoulders. Just allowing a pause to observe your body after one side of those poses. Without having to rush right into the second side. And when you're ready, bend your left knee, step your left foot on the ground in front of the hip. Place your left hand on the floor behind you and flex your right foot. Either catch hold of your outer left foot with your right hand to kick into, or place a strap around the ball of your left foot and hold the strap only in your right hand to kick into. Choose what allows you to lengthen your spine as vertically upright as possible while relaxing your shoulders down. Press your pelvis down and breathe in to lift up through the back of your skull. Keep the shoulders relaxing down and exhale, let your waistline begin to twist to your left, breath by breath. Maybe lifting your left hand towards the back of the room and maybe gazing towards it, or not. Listen to the fluidity in your breathing. On your next exhale, unwind your spine, bend your left knee, and hug the left thigh over the right thigh as close together as you can. Choose to either use a strap around the ball of your right foot, holding it with two hands, or to frame your legs with fingertips on the ground. Both flex and kick the ball of the right foot forward. Rooting down through your sitting bones, breathe in and lift up through the spine, relaxing the shoulders, open the chest. As you exhale just a little bit, hinge forward from your hips. Pause as you breathe in, press the pelvis downward, stretch the spine from it. Only continue to bow further if you can keep the shoulders relaxed, your throat open. Press down to your hips, breathe in, lead with your chest to slowly rise. Again, stretch your legs forward. Notice if there's any movement your body is asking for, or be still for a few breaths. Observe and digest. Let's make our way down to our backs, placing a strap off to the side, as well as 2 blocks near the rear of your mat. Please lie down. And lying down here, begin by stepping your 2 feet on the ground, hips distance apart, parallel to each other. Bring the arms down by your sides and slide your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips. Spread the toes without gripping the mat. And then grab a block, start with 1, lift up your pelvis and slide the block wide across the width of your mat on the lowest height of the block, underneath your sacrum, the flat part of your lower back. So we know that our hips move in so many different directions, right? So they encompass all around the tops of the femur heads, the thigh bones. So here we're opening up the fronts of the hips. Notice if you can feel anything happening. If not, you could either tilt that same block on the 2nd or 3rd level height, or stack 2 blocks. Maybe that feels more stable. You decide. Tilt your chin gently back to open your throat, inviting the breath flow, and ground the backs of your shoulders as you turn the palms to face up, bringing the arms very close to your sides. Are you feeling sensations of opening, or maybe even resistance, which could be a hint of opening in the fronts of your hips, your hip flexors? And once again, if not, you can make the blocks even higher. So be creative. That's part of our sacral energy, right? Creativity with how you configure your blocks. Staying on the block, bend your right knee towards your chest. Take hold of your thigh or shin, either with your hands or with a strap as an extension of your arms, making sure your shoulders and head stay down. As you press the left heel into the earth, flex your left foot by curling the toes back towards the shin. Begin to slide the left heel forward towards straightening the leg just to the degree that feels comfortable as you further stretch the front of your left hip without turning out the left leg. So keep your left knee and middle toe pointing straight up towards the sky. I noticed that by hugging the right leg even closer to me, I increased the depth or intensity of that hip flexor stretch on the left hip. So experiment bring the attitude of play as you listen to the flow of your breath. We're going to be here for another minute. And with the next exhalation, gently bend both knees and step both feet on the ground. And just pause. Allow a few breaths. Feel that your throat is still open, your shoulders evenly grounded. And when you're ready, catch hold of your left thigh or shin with your hands or your strap. Flex your right foot and slide your right heel forward towards whatever degree of straightening the right leg is comfortable. Point your right knee and middle toe straight up towards the sky, maybe hugging the left leg closer to you. Listen to the ocean wave sound in your breathing, inviting the element of water. We're here for another minute. On an exhale, gently step both feet on the ground, bending both knees, and come back to your supported bridge pose, pausing here for about 10 breaths. Notice what you sense in your body or energy right now. Then gently begin to lower your pelvis to the ground, removing any blocks from under your body. Keep your knees bent and slide your feet wider apart, maybe mat width apart. Keep your feet where they are, and to the pace of a slow, mindful breath, start to windshield wiper your shins, dropping the knees both in one direction, exhaling to the other direction. For several breaths, get into the flow state here as you tune into the sound, the rhythm. If there is a different direction your body's asking you to move gently, feel free to explore that. You could gather the knees into your chest. You could circle the legs. Exploring, listening, responding, finding glimmers in your practice. Few more cycles of breath. And then step your left foot on the ground, take your strap and step the ball of your right foot into the strap. Kick the right foot towards the sky and flex the foot. Hold the strap in just your right hand. Keep your shoulders grounded, slide the left leg straight and flex the left foot too. Press your left palm on the very top of your left thigh, grounding the back of your left hip. From your right hip socket, rotate your right thigh bone externally, turning it out at the hip. Then begin to abduct or move away your right leg from the midline of your body. Feel the breath here. Let it support your body's relaxation into opening up. Bring the right leg up towards the sky. Take hold of the strap with two hands and square your hips towards the ceiling while you bend the elbows apart and bring the right thigh towards you. Like a supine version of Hanumanasana or split. Step your right foot onto the ground and step the ball of your left foot into the strap. Kick the foot up as you flex it. Hold the strap only in your left hand. Press your right hand on top of your right thigh and straighten your right leg forward, flexing the right foot too. Begin by externally rotating your left thigh bone at the hip. Then open the leg slowly, breath by breath, abducting it away from your midline. Slowly bring the left leg upright and hold the strap with two hands. Keep your hips equally facing the sky as you bend the elbows apart and bring the left leg closer. You could bend the right knee if your left hamstring feels resistant, but try to keep the left leg straight without locking the knee. Bending both knees into your chest. Gather everything in. And begin to rock in any direction a few times so that eventually you press yourself up slowly to sit. Please find a comfortable way to sit for one more pranayama to help us to tune inward towards Shavasana and our guided 10 minutes of meditation. And this one is also one that helps to clear the mind, enlivens and cleanses the lungs, and it's known to spark joy when we do it as a regular daily practice. So it's called bellows breath, Bhastrika Pranayama. It's done by closing the lips, breathing just through the nose, and inhaling very deeply all at once. Imagine you're filling up your entire torso and you're using your diaphragm, so the belly expands too. And you exhale everything out through the nose, just the same strength, all at once. Now you could have your hands in your side ribs like this to feel the fullness of each breath and the contrast of the exhalation. Or you could add a kriya, a physical movement with the arms. And it's done by bending the elbows apart as you sit tall and relax the shoulders, making fists with the hands. And as you breathe in, you straighten the arms, spread the fingers. As you breathe out, you refist the hands and bend the elbows towards your side ribs. So it looks sort of like this. So I'm going to watch the clock for 1 minute, and let's see how sustained you can keep your rhythm for 1 minute. You choose the rhythm, a rather brisk pace, but more important that you're fully breathing in and fully exhaling. So prepare to begin for 1 minute of bellows breath. Closing the eyes, you might picture your sacral energy center, a glowing orange, bright light that is expanding with each breath. Here we go. 1 minute. Relax. Notice how you feel as you breathe naturally. Slowly breathe in. Exhale through the mouth really long. Try a couple more breaths where you exhale a bit slower than you inhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then breathing naturally again. Keep tuning inward. You might keep your eyes closed as I invite you to lower your body into your final resting pose. A way that you can lie down comfortably in stillness for a few minutes, allowing your limbs to take up space on the ground, using any props that might be of support for your comfort, such as grounding support, placing the weight of a pillow or folded blanket on top of your pelvis and lower belly. Lower back support, placing a rolled up blanket or pillow or 2 blocks under the backs of your knees as you stretch the legs apart. Allow your shoulders to release into the ground as you close your eyes, sensing the natural flow of breath. Letting the stillness in your body invite you towards the stillness within. As you rest a little longer, notice how your physical body feels now. Sense the way it's responding to your yoga practice. Let your body lead you into gently waking it up, beginning with small, slow movements. Easing into simple stretch. And gradually turning over onto your right side and resting your head. Pausing for a few moments there, witness the flow of your natural breath again. What's it informing you about your overall energy? Has anything shifted through your practice? While continuing to be aware of what you're sensing internally, please gradually begin to lift your body up into a comfortable seated position, to pause for 10 minutes of guided meditation in which we'll practice mindfulness with emotions. So sit in a way in which you can feel grounded, alert and open throughout your spine and chest, and your whole body relaxed. One positioning of the hands that cultivates focus. Neutral mind is to stack the right palm on top of the left palm, palms face up on the center of the lap, and let the thumb tips touch. Another mudra that invites harmony of nature's elements, fire, water, earth, air, ether, that move through us, is to place the fingertips of each opposite hand to touch as if you're holding a sphere between your palms, and just letting that sphere hover around the area of your navel as you relax the shoulders and sit tall. Choose what works for you, and if it makes sense, I invite you to close your eyes, otherwise steady a gentle gaze downcast. Begin by sensing again the flow of the breath, naturally in and out. In observing the breath, allowing your mind to be here in this moment and the next. As you sense the in and out flow of breath, notice the state of your mind and heart, how you're feeling mentally and emotionally now. Bring that play attitude of curiosity rather than judgment, allowing whatever is to just be as it is. What is the most prominent emotion moving through you at this moment? Can you mentally and very succinctly, without creating a story about it, name any emotions you're experiencing, including those that seem paradoxical? such as joy and a little bit of sadness. If you get lost into a train of thoughts, find the feeling of the breath to bring you back home to the present. Now I invite you to choose one of the emotions to practice mindfulness with right now. It could be any range on the spectrum, what we might sometimes label as pleasant emotions, or neutral or unpleasant emotions. No need to even call it that, or positive or negative. Simply bring your attention to the emotion that you feel the most right now. And as you focus on it, what are you experiencing in your physical body? This can be literal sensations. This can be energetic feelings through your felt sense, which can be described in ways such as a heaviness somewhere, a contraction or an expansion somewhere. Without having to describe the physical body, invite you to bring your awareness to the physical manifestation of that emotion. Just be in the aliveness of the feeling. Sensing any way you might be reacting or relating to that emotion or sensation without judging yourself, just being aware. If that emotion creates a tense feeling, or you notice a resistance to it within yourself, I invite you to become curious about that resistance or tension without judging yourself. To the degree that you feel comfortable, let your attention lean into it. Even inviting the breath there as support. Might you allow the exhalations to loosen any tension surrounding the emotion or physical feeling of it. Simply so that you can see it for what it really is. Lastly, does this emotion have a message for you from within you? Is there a need that you have that this emotion is revealing to you. What is the message from this emotion? Let a breath in, filling up your heart space and all the way down to your sacral center. Opening the mouth to empty the breath. Once more, deep inhale. Let it go. Remember that part of our yoga practice, besides stretching and opening the body, is stretching and opening our hearts, our minds, to include the whole spectrum of life that's happening right here, right now. May these practices continue to support us to see life clearly. I invite you to recognize anyone or anything that you feel appreciation for in this moment. You might even thank your emotion. And then revisit your intention, the seed that you planted and began to water through this practice. Remember to whom you dedicated today's practice. Sending them love as we close, chanting the Bija mantra, Vam, visualizing the color orange and extending the energy of play, flow, healthy processing of our emotions, sensuality, sexuality, flexibility, into whomever, whatever it can benefit. So 3 times, Vam, to close. Deep breath in. Vam. And bowing in towards your heart, honoring the light within you that inspires you to come back to your practice and continue to awaken your inner truth. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.